Professora, por gentileza, pode falar o nome da pessoa que fez a pergunta e da onde que veio também, ok? Fique à vontade.
Primeira pergunta é de Marcos Valverde, veio pela internet. Como os jogos de videogame podem contribuir positivamente para a educação?
How can games be good for education? I think a lot of education software developers have taken the wrong route. They're like, let's make something where you learn a lot, but we're not going to think about fun, right? But I think you can take a different approach. Like you look at a game like, there's a new first person, it's kind of like a medieval Skyrim called Kingdom Come Deliverance, right? And this is kind of like historical Skyrim. It's in the 1400s, right? All the armor you have is historical. All of the characters are from real like countries and regions that existed. And so what they did is they took something that's already fun and then made it historical, right? Because if something's not fun, people aren't going to focus on it. So I would say there's so many ways to add education to already good existing types of games.
Fábio from Fatec Carapicuíba. He asks if you know Sword Art Online, and what do you think of this game?
I've never played it. I know it's an anime. It was turned into a game. That's about all I know. Sword Art Online.
Heitor Henrique, Fatec Carapicuíba. What do you think of the influence of World War II when they released Call of Duty 3?
I stopped playing Call of Duty after I quit. I was burned out, so I don't really have any opinions on any Call of Duties after Ghosts. So sorry. I did 12 years of that. I was like, I'm going to go play like, I don't know, The Sims or something. Not The Sims, but something.
Daniel Lopes, Fatec Carapicuíba. Based on your experience, what do you think is best when you're developing your own game? To launch it or wait for it to be released by others?
Well, if someone's releasing your game, that's a problem because they pirated your game and are now making money from it. So I'm not really sure I understand the question because only you can release your game. So I'm not sure. If whoever's here with that question, you find me after, we can clarify it and figure out what you wanted to know.
Júlio Fatec Ourinhos. What's the difference between an amateur and a professional designer?
Money. If someone paid you $20 to do something, you're now a professional.
Marcos Valverde from the internet. Call of Duty can have another different one, like an RTS, for example?
When I was at Infinity Ward, Activision wanted to do a lot of Call of Duty everything, but it was in their contract that we had to approve everything Call of Duty. So yeah, you could put Call of Duty on anything, any type of game. But before I left Infinity Ward, I was trying to get them to make something completely different. I wanted Call of Duty with dinosaurs. You ride like a raptor, with like guns on the side, and a brontosaurus, the lasers. I don't know. I just was like, at this point, I don't care. Like this franchise doesn't have much. Well, I shouldn't say that. Someone could see this. But anyways, just go crazy. If we have zombies, let's have dinosaurs. Let's have pterodactyls swooping down. Whatever.
Do you think VR could launch and give an impulse to business instead of any other thing?
Sorry, launch and what?
Business instead. Could VR give an impulse for business?
Oh yeah, I mean my whole talk was about that. So, and the uses of, but it was probably asked after. So.
When this is Renato from Fatec Ourinhos. When you launch a game, do you start thinking of another one, or just wait to have all the drawbacks?
So you have a lot of ideas that are going to make it in the next game, right? So you could work on a Call of Duty for 2 years, and as you're working on it, you think of an idea that you can't do in that game, but hey, maybe next game. So you write all those ideas down, and then when you finish a game, you start taking those ideas, you might put them on a board, and kind of, okay, I like that idea, let's take those. And so it's kind of both. You think a little bit, but you focus on finishing your current game, and then you go 100% on the next game after it's finished. finished, you're almost finished.
Douglas Patek Carapicuíba. Is there any study on improving the motion sickness on VR?
A study?
Some studies or
Oh, I mean,
Research, I
yeah,
guess.
I'm sure they exist, but here's the thing. Most sim sickness from VR comes from bad development. Or it comes from using a cell phone VR, which is really low quality. Generally, there's some newer stuff that's better, but the cell phone VR is only 60 frames a second, and that'll even make me kind of sick. So unfortunately, there's been some experiences people have made that can get them sick, but good VR will make, a point something percent, like less than 1% sick. I've never seen anyone get sick from using our software because we're not doing anything to make them sick.
Marcelo from Fatec São Caetano do Sul. He wants to know the difference between Runny and any other VR company.
What in VR company?
Any other? He said
The
just,
difference between...
Runny and VR.
Oh, Roomy. I think it's running. Well, our company is Doghead. Our software is Roomy. Are there differences? Yeah, there's differences between every company, so I'm not sure about that question. Yeah, I could be here for an hour.
Guilherme from Fatec Ourinhos. What were your worst things when you get started as a designer?
Worst things. I think it was coming out of school and realizing that, like, man, I'm new, I have to be good, and that pressure to be good because I'm new and I want to get a job. I don't know if that's the worst, but that's definitely a lot of pressure. Yeah.
There is another one without a name. What's the difference between a designer starting now and the difficulties you had 10 years ago?
Differences between now and 10 years ago, I guess. I think the difference is now there's so much free education, tutorials, and ways to pick up everything. Like whether it's anything in the world, you can start to at least learn online. And so that's created a lot of competition, right? So a lot of these people will start out doing Unity tutorials and they'll enjoy it and they're like, I should go study this, right? And so there's a lot more competition now because there's a lot more ways to educate yourself about everything.
Beto, Fatec Carapicuíba. Virtual reality is something new. Has been any research that really ensures it's an engagement and not just funny thing to do, just game stuff?
Well, we don't have any official scientific research yet, but I can tell you that every single person that goes into Roomy, they come out saying, oh wow, this totally makes sense. So yeah, we could spend a lot of money to confirm exactly what we know, so eventually we probably will have some, what's called white paper studies, but that's not something you do as a small startup because they're very expensive. But we just know just from using it. We use it every week. We see other people use it. We're not doubting that it engages people more. Yeah, and I think anyone who uses VR, good VR, will actually see that immediately.
Mário Cardoso from Fatec Americana. How do people around the world see Brazilian professionals working in IT or gaming?
I've never heard any sort of generalization about Brazilian professionals. We have three. We have our head of graphic design is in near Brooklyn, Moema area. We have in Jacarepaguá, no Rio. We have a engineer artist, and we have another artist in Laranjeiras in Rio. So we enjoy working with them, and it's not outsourcing, it's just working with Brazilians, because I know these people, right? People are like, oh, you're outsourcing. No, I'm just working with people outside of these imaginary borders called the United States. Like, why do we call it outsourcing?
What's the difference with working with your own engine or working with an open source program?
The difference with working with your own engine is you have to hire lots and lots and lots of engineers for like $150,000 a year and work like 3 years to get an engine, or you just use a free one. That's better. So if you can write your own engine, that's great, but the odds are, like, if you're going to make a game, don't try to write your own engine unless Unity can't do it or Unreal can't do it. You're just doing something that's you're not going to do as good of a job when there's 200 engineers at Epic doing the same thing for 5 to 10 years, So it's a cool thing to do, but it's not necessary.
Júlio César Fronourinhos, he asks you for having a Jedi on Rumini.
What?
A Jedi.
There's no Jedis in business meetings. Sorry, guys. There is VR chat, though, if you want to just socialize and do a chat room experience. Man, I went to I went to a Favela 2.0 in VR chat. I don't know if anyone's done VR chat. It's like living inside a Brazilian meme. It's insane. Like you have Ugandan Knuckles dressed like a Banjito. He's dressed like a Banjito. He's wearing like, shorts down here. He's got like a tank top and he's got probably a Taurus Brazilian gun, right? And he comes up to you and he's like, talking to Portuguese. And so I troll these Brazilians so hard in VR chat. I come in and say, e aí, cara, eu sou professor dos Banditos. Moro aqui essa favela 5 anos, cara. And I just speak really bad gringo Portuguese, but pretend I'm a Bandido. And I fake rob people. I don't know. We all have different things we do for fun. Don't judge me.
I have to shuffle some questions because you're short of time.
That's fine.
Okay? There is a Caio from Carapicuíba. In network, there is Netcat. Do you have this kind of thing in VR?
I don't know what Netcat is.
When you use appropriate language, not to be, when you do not intend to be rude to people.
Oh, like a social boundaries.
Yeah.
Kind of like, if you're in a chat room, you might block someone because they're saying,
using
okay.
capital letters all
Right.
the time is
Yeah.
easier shouting.
So in this case, Rumi, which is enterprise meetings, right? So what happens if you go to a work meeting and you start saying racist things? What's going to happen? Are you going to have a job? So our safety net is the fact that you're going to get fired for doing stupid things, right? So we don't have to put necessarily the same protection that you might put in VR chat where it's just random people, right? The fact that if you act stupid at work, bad things will happen to you, so.
Eric, Fatec São Caetano. Which softwares have you used as an amateur and which ones do you use now?
In game development, I use Maya pretty much every day, all day. A little bit of Photoshop, but mostly just Maya. Now I'm just using more business stuff more than anything. I use Unity sometimes. I do a little bit of development work, but very little. Just the regular ones, honestly, like Gmail, Slack. I use Slack all day. Nothing too exciting these days.
The last one now, okay. So what were your worst difficulties in your career?
Do we have a time for like a 3-minute story for the final one?
Yeah.
3 minutes? No?
I guess cut off 3 minutes. Okay.
All right. One more question. Okay, so difficult. I had a crazy story. I was in Germany, right? And I was playing, it was Modern Warfare 4, and I was playing the game for the media. 500 media people showed up in Europe to see Call of Duty 4 for the first time. And so I had to play the sniper level, where you're wearing the ghillie suit, and you're crawling prone through the grass, and you're sniping the guys in the towers. If you played Modern Warfare 4, you'll remember that. And so you have to shoot these guys, right? And if you miss a guy, the dogs come out. The German shepherds come out, and they start chasing you. But we can't shoot the dogs in front of German media. The German media is very sensitive. So I had to practice, and I had to play this level like 20 times at work so that I would never miss a shot. I got so good at it. Yeah. And so I go to Germany, and they're like, okay, Chance to come here and show you Modern Warfare 4. And I'm playing it. Get the first guy, shot him, down. Second guy, shoot him, down. Third guy. Then I get the fourth guy, right? And here's the thing. This is what's even worse. Is we've been killing Germans in Call of Duty for years. And we're finally killing Russians, but we have German shepherds. And so the fourth guy, I shoot, and I'm like, oh no, I missed. He went right behind a piece of wood walking by, and I hit the wood, and the dogs come out, right? So I'm running in circles, trying to run from the dogs. And I'm like, Chance, don't kill the dogs. Don't kill the dogs. Don't kill the dogs. And in a first-person shooter, R3 is usually like melee. You know, if you hit down on the right thumbstick, well, in Call of Duty 4, down on the right thumbstick, when a dog jumps at you, you grab their head and you just crack their neck. And so the dog jumps up on me, and I go like tense up, and I accidentally pressed R3. And for the 500 of the most important media people of video games from all of Europe, just see me break the neck of a German Shepherd. Like silence, you know, just quiet. And then there's like one guy, like, yeah, that's cool, you know. Then you see him, like, more people clapping, and then before you know it, everyone enjoyed it. They just didn't want to admit that they enjoyed it. So that was kind of a difficulty.
Gustavo, Fatec Carapicuíba. When are you going to start making experience with Fatec students and VR?
Well, if you guys want to, if there's any online students that wish they were in VR right now, not looking at a screen with bad video resolution, you should tell Fatec, because we do have software for that. So it's up to you guys. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so Thais.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, stay, okay.
Oh, thank you very much. Nós tivemos muitas perguntas, isso foi muito legal. Muitas perguntas vieram pela internet também, pelo chat, e a gente não queria decepcioná-los. Então, vamos improvisar e vou fazer uma pergunta agora para o Chance. Chance, existe a possibilidade de você responder as perguntas que faltaram em um vídeo e depois a gente coloca no nosso canal do YouTube?
Eu posso.
Opa! Então, todas as perguntas serão respondidas. Aguarde, então, no nosso canal, que as respostas estarão lá, ok? Então, para finalizar o nosso evento, gostaria de chamar aqui ao palco todos os participantes para receber o certificado. Professor Brown. Carol. Just say yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Bom, pessoal, muito obrigada pela participação. Agradeço a todos os palestrantes e agradeço a todos vocês também pela presença. Agradeço a audiência que está online também. E espero encontrá-los em breve num próximo evento. Até mais.
Thank you. I was not listening. I have no idea why you're clapping. But apparently it's something amazing. Oh, okay. I was reading my certificate and then I wasn't listening to Portuguese. Sorry. I was trying to translate this to English. I'm like, what am I certified in? Muito obrigado. Yeah, of course. Chama foto.